What's up, y'all? I know that I said not to expect me to talk about Interview with the Vampire every single week, but here I am. Here I am yet again because Claudia is so cool. Like, we have to talk about her. Okay, so we know from last episode that they were basically burning up the city, right? Because Louis had off that one guy, that alderman, whatever the fuck his name is, Fenwick, yes. And so they were just tearing through the city, right? So they were burning shit up. And Louis ended up saving this girl named Claudia. Claudia was burned. Louis took Claudia back to Lestat and was just like, yo, can you help her out? Like, please, please, please. I love how we got to see Claudia's like perspective during this because it was like basically through her diaries. And like I said, I have not watched the first Interview with the Vampire movie or anything like that. I don't know anything about this shit before 2022, basically, is what I'm saying. So like just seeing her journals and stuff and seeing her perspective, I thought was really cool as it was going on, because we saw her calling them like the black angel versus the white angel. She thought she was in heaven, and then she looks like at Louis crying, like why would an angel be crying in heaven though? Like, where am I? So Lestat changes her after Louis just continues to beg and beg. And Lestat brings up a point, like he was like, you were ready to abandon our home, now you want a third in it. And honestly, even though it's not the point that he thinks that he's making, Lestat has a point. My thing was like, Louis, first of all, you need to get away from this man. First and foremost, that was my thing. Like, you need to get the fuck away from this man. And now you got a whole, I understand that you hurting and you want to stay, you feel like, all these people burning all the white people burning up y'all shit was your fault. Burning up the town was your fault. And I understand, like, maybe saving her, feels like you did something, you're actually doing something, but it's like, first you need to leave this white man. I'm sorry. You need to leave this man. So for him bringing a whole entire another being into y'all's relationship, into y'all's thing, I was like, this is not a recipe for anything great. Like, it's not. And maybe, a lot of parents in real life need to hear that shit. Oops. And you already know it's going to cause a problem just by their first lesson that they're giving to Claudia about being a vampire, because Claudia points at the fucking incinerator. She's like, girl, what the hell is that? And Louis was like, Louis does not want to answer that question. He's like, but Lestat was just ready to jump in there. She was like, girl, that's where we bring the corpses. And it's just like, Louis looking at Lestat like, bro, like, goddamn, you just changed her, give her some time, right? But even then, like I said, you can start to see already just from the first interaction, first lesson, that there's going to be issues, right? They show her the telepathy, which I thought was really cool. And we find out, at least I found out here that Lestat cannot hear the thoughts of those who he creates. And I thought that was very cool and a very interesting plot piece to put there, so he's not like completely all powerful, because bitch, like, Lestat got like so many years, centuries on y'all. He got so much experience on y'all, so at least give him some kind of weakness. You see what I'm saying? Because if y'all have to end up fighting this motherfucker, it's just, oh my god. So yes, like I said, they show the telepathy and they establish each other as a family with no secrets. And it's like, that's definitely not what y'all are. But I'm going to let y'all think that you're doing something, like I said. So they make a stop around this drunk guy who's just chilling on the street. Just an innocent guy chilling about the shit. Like, damn, bitch, can this man not enjoy his goddamn drink? Can he not enjoy his peace? And I mean, if he's already living on the streets, like, at least leave him alone with his bottle. Like, damn. So Claudia takes a hint and she's like, okay, so do I have to kill him? And Louis was like, no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to kill humans. You don't have to kill humans. You don't have to kill humans, Claudia. You could go ahead and do some doves and some pigeons. How about some rats and some possums? Lestat was like, bitch, I'm not here for that stupid shit. Lestat was like, that sounds fucking dumb. Okay? So she ends up approaching the drunk guy anyway, and she can't do it. And Louis seems happy at first, like, yes, girl, you can't. She takes after me. She takes it. It's Louis, you so delusional. I love you, baby, but you so delusional. Y'all are vampires. Like, and Lestat is crazy. What is wrong? I love Louis. It's just like, damn, sis, stand up. You be weak in the knees. Stand up. But Claudia scurries away, and she's like, hey, girl, guess what? She finds this cop, and she was like, I know what you people be doing around here, so it's all right. It's all right if I go ahead and drink your blood like it's my last Kool-Aid of the day at around lunchtime at school. So she was just like, bitch, what's the tea? And Louis like, no, my God, please, no, don't do it. And she does it anyway. I got my life a little bit. I mean, not a little bit. I got my life a lot. Let's stop playing. Like, let's be real about that situation. So they get back, and of course, not only is Claudia just like a new vampire, but it's just so young, right? So of course this hunger, if Louis had an issue dealing with that fucking vampire hunger, then of course like damn near basic shot, like of course you're gonna have an issue with it. So they get back, she can't control her hunger. She goes out in the street just doing whatever the fuck she want. You can see Lestat here, it's like, oh my gosh. He's like, Claudia. And you noticed when she was talking about the whole situation in her diary, she says, you suck them like frog legs and then burn them like trash. And it's like, just hearing that line again after having seen the entire episode, it's just like, yeah, mama, I feel so bad for you right now. She tries to burn herself with sunlight as just like a way to see what the tea is. In my opinion, I think that's how it started at first. Like this is a whole new experience. Usually I was able to frolic around in the sun. Like she's just getting high off the fact that she's a vampire. She wants to see what's up. So I think that's how it started. But obviously, like I said, knowing what happens at the end of the episode, it's a very interesting development here. So I love how they're just, you know, spending time as a family, fighting each other in the coffins and shit. And I love this conversation here when Louis and her were on the boat, and she basically asked Louis how this gay stuff works. And he answers it very beautifully. He just says it works like love. Like, I don't really know anything more than that. I just know that it feels cool. It feels right. I was pretending to like girls before, and now I'm not doing that. And every time I see these kinds of conversations happen, especially about like queer people, I'm like, wow, this is how every single conversation could go. Just easy. Oh, this is just how I live, and this is who I am. And that's it. Like, it wasn't no big ass rah-rah. She was just like, oh, okay, girl, you know. So then during this conversation in this little boat ride that they're on, Louis ends up saying like he tries to get her not to kill, in my opinion. And even if she does kill, he says like, you don't have to be like Lestat. Like, you can do it quick and painless. It doesn't have to be extravagant. So I mean, obviously that did not really do anything. I'm so sorry, Louis. I'm so sorry. You should, I don't know what you should have done, but this, y'all should not have brought her into this situation. Y'all don't have y'all own shit figured out. So we get to see the years pass and them spending time together as a family, and we see how much fun they're having. But then all of that just evaporates for a little bit because Louis' mom is dead. He gets the phone call. So they go to the wake, and it's just so much shade thrown. It is so fucking shady. So his sister, Louis' sister, and her husband was just like, bitch, do you really think that you and her quote unquote uncle, like, bitch, sure, you walking around with the, you know, most murderous face of Sean Cody we'd have never seen in our fucking life, bitch. You talking about, oh, you know what I mean? They were just like, bitch, are y'all sure that you homos are the right ones to adopt? You have a daughter? Ugh, they were so disgusted. And his sister was like, okay, that's fine. Just don't bring him to the funeral. And Louis was like, bitch, I'm not coming to that stupid shit anyway. What the fuck are you talking about? And then they end up talking about this house, right? So his sister, this is what I got from the scene. So y'all can tell me what y'all got. But what I heard is that they want all rights to the house. They want their house, right? And his sister husband was just like, what did he say? We can pay you in installments. And his sister was like, you and your white daddy doing fine in a quarter. We can't pay you what it's worth, and y'all don't even need the money anyway. And they get really buck, and Louis was just like, you forget what I did to that door, Grace. I'll have the papers drawn up. So I was just like, oh my God. And they shaded, I think Claudia said something about the smell in there, and they shaded their asses, and they just kept it on moving. And I was like, my goodness. I mean, I got my life. I'm sorry. I got my life. I got my life. So here is where I knew the problems would get even worse, because Lestat is taking Claudia on a hunt, and I was like, this is a recipe for fucking disaster. Lestat is taking her ass on a hunt, and he says young people swollen with passion basically have the sweetest blood. And Claudia even writes in her journal or diary, whatever, Lestat and I have a lot in common. Basically, I mean, it kind of sounded like she was getting on, at least with the way they see things, she was getting on better with Lestat than Louis, if it makes any sense. Or Lestat was just really taking advantage of her new uncontrolled passions or new uncontrolled desires and hunger and shit. And Lestat, like I said, Lestat, his whole thing to me is loneliness. His whole thing to me is he's so fucked up and he knows that shit. he wants connection, but he don't know how to get that shit. So if he just wants to lead everybody else into that same kind of life, like he does, that same kind of life. And I think this is what you can see in how he reacts to or interacts with Louis and Claudia. Like, so they go do that shit, and it was bad. Claudia eats them girls completely up. They don't know what hit them. Even Lestat was over here bending this woman over them by her neck. It was just disgusting. It was bad. So then we ended up this whole entire scene with this guy Charlie, or this whole entire just moment with Charlie, and how they're introduced to each other, and he throws flowers, and they go on this little ice cream date. But Charlie wanted to check, I guess, like, girl, you look young. Like, he was just like, what's up? Like, don't get me in no bullshit. And Claudia was just like, I'm 19. And obviously this was something I did not think about when they first bit her. I'm just like, oh, she's gonna stay that age. She's gonna stay looking like that. She's gonna stay that same kind of age forever kind of thing. Like, do they grow at all? You know, has Lestat looked like that forever? You know, and when you get changed, when you get bitten, you stay that age forever. That's what it's giving. So either way, I mean, it was really cute. Charlie was really feeling her. He said, you don't even look like a girl, you're an angel. And if you remember in the beginning, the police guy said, you're not a girl, you're the devil, or some shit like that. So of course that was so cute. But she kills him. She kills him, which is what we expected, but I did not know that it was happening, because Charlie seemed like he was enjoying his stuff the whole time. I mean, I didn't hear him scream. Usually you hear people like, oh my God, screaming. I guess he was, I don't know, maybe he was really feeling that shit. Charlie, damn, you was kinky as fuck. But anyway, Charlie's dead, mama. Like, and that's exactly the same kind of attitude that Lestat has when Claudia brings Charlie home. Lestat look at her like, girl, I mean, I don't know what you want me to do with this corpse, but it's definitely not going to be turned into a vampire. I can tell you that. He was just really Lestat was an asshole about this shit. And even more so, he forced her to watch him burn. He forced her to watch Charlie fucking burn. And I was like, yo, Louis, you need to get Claudia's ass away from Lestat right the fuck now. Like, that was just so completely unnecessary. And like I said, it's because of Lestat's own trauma. He talking about, oh, well, this is basically a lesson for you to learn. Don't get attached to mortals. And it's like, okay, just because you can't handle being attached to mortals, like, bitch, we all know that, okay, I'm immortal, they are mortals, they're gonna die. Like, you mean to tell me that there's no way that you can ever know that, know that these people are gonna die, know that your friends are gonna, know that who you care about is gonna die, and still just not have any kind of interaction with it? You can attack. It might not be fun, but it's possible. I think Lestat is so fucking lonely. He's so fucked up that he's just like, I'm going to make sure that everybody else is just as fucked up, just as lonely. We ain't doing none of this shit. The only thing that we got is us. And even then, I'm going to use my position as a way to try and manipulate and overpower you bitches. So it's not even real anyway. You see what I'm saying? So that was bad. I love this moment when this guy, the writer here, confronts Louis about Claudia being a band-aid for a shitty marriage, shitty relationship. And he's exactly right. He's just saying the same thing I've been saying. Like, Claudia should not have been involved in this shit. And it's, I don't know, if find another way to save her or to make sure she all right. I don't know, but this was not a good idea. It was not a good idea. I love this scene of Claudia going crazy, or just having a difficult time in the coffin processing what has happened, while Louis and Lestat are outside of the coffins fighting. And it's just like, now, not only are Louis and Lestat's philosophies have been so different from the start, but now it's getting even more, it's becoming even more of a problem now that you're basically raising this child. Like, it's becoming even more of a problem. Right, so during this whole time, I thought it was beautifully done. The scene was amazing. It was beautifully, everything. Acted, cinematography, everything. Just the lighting, everything. It was great. I thought she was gonna end her life here. I thought that Claudia was gonna end her life here. But if you notice, she said there's so much more fun out there to have, or something like that. She said, I'm just getting started. That's what she said. So even then, the first time I watched it, I was like, oh shit, like she really gonna end her life. But I think this is just her just self-harming, right? And this is the way that she deals with the intense trauma that she's fucking going through, that she's in, because that's a lot for anybody to go through. So at first I was like, damn, she really finna step in the sunlight, but it was only her arm that she was putting in there. You see what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, this is definitely, after rewatching, I was like, yeah, this is definitely, in my opinion, tell me what y'all think, this is definitely a way for her to just deal with, I mean, in an unhealthy way, but it's a way for her to deal with the trauma and pain that she's going through. She's self-harming. So, I mean, it's just, Claudia's gonna get worse and worse, especially if Louis don't take her ass out the situation. And if Louis takes her out the situation, that means he takes himself out the situation, which means that he gonna have to fight Lestat, I think, or something. Lestat just not gonna let their ass just go. I mean, especially if his past behaviors has proven anything, right? So, I don't know. Claudia was that girl. Claudia's that girl. I want to see what's happening. They better stay away from her. She will literally chew your neck off, even when she's not trying to. But yeah, let me know what y'all thought of this episode. I thought it was cute. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll check y'all out later.